Hey, this is Kurt the Boat Doctor, 2750. Out here showing you how this boat works. It's really nice. You got your 6CL5 gauge. I went through some of the electronics and some of the lights. Okay, we had initially, there was a little bit of water, but I think it was in there prior to this. But there is a little drippage in here, which is a tube that goes into that macerate fill pump. There might be a little hole in that. I see that water right there. I'm going to have them check that. Nothing major. They need to put all the covers on. This is your little privacy curtain. If you want this up, you just flip it up. Tie rise, you pop this thing up. Grab handles. You got your light right here. You get that off. You just touch this down. And that gives you, if you don't like that station. And I see this fell down.
Where you will always find a like it, love it, gotta have it item. Now open 7 days a week.
Make the Pony Village Mall your shopping destination on the Southern Oregon coast. See you at the mall for lots of family-friendly events. My Body Spirit in Suite 114 carries books, tarot cards, candles, and all of your aromatherapy needs. My Body Spirit is open Wednesday through Sunday.
Okay, I went through the back of the boat. Those flip down. Compartments dry. This pump here, waste pump, that pumps, if you got water into there, you take the plug out that goes into here, take that plug that goes into there, and then that goes out through the back, right here. So you got a plug there. So that one switch I showed you, that will, you undo the plug in that one that goes into here, then you can pump all three, or if you get back, you can just take this plug out. Doors are shut. You got to shut that one a little bit harder. And again, all those three should be tightened up, and it needs to have this pump put in. But the baby tank did work, but they may want to recheck that. Let me see, 200 gain 50. We want to get into here. We want to set the gain on that one. Layers, zoom, auto range, grid, zoom, off. I don't want that. Noise rejection medium, TVG. We want to go down to probably 3, 2, there. Now see how you can see a little bit more there? It's picking up transvertical gain. And then you hit this one again, over here, layers, flutter, 100%.
Instant weather and tide updates, as well as tsunami and emergency preparedness information.
Bring that down to about
kshr.com.
50.
My name's Irene, and this is your
Let's jam that clutter up a little bit. Let's go to about 50.
So keep an eye out for those clouds.
There you go. Done.
There's a small chance of rain sitting at around 8.
So you can just kind of play with that. Same thing with that one, low and high, that's fine. Okay, that's scanning. We're on single lever, as you can see up here. And I want to see what the voltage is, 13. You want to get the brightness up on that. Trim says boat device, reset, trip. Hit the menu button, backlight. Let's get that up to about 100 back. Get back out of that. That's your fuel flow. This is how you set your trim assist that I got set for you. So those you don't want to really mess with too much. There's your forward, your tack, your trim. So right now I have this on just manual trim right here. So then what you can do is just leave this into gear. You can tell 800 to 700. Make sure both motors are trimmed down all the way. Then what you can do is hit this button down and it'll go beep beep and it'll say speed control active. Now see how I'm going up to about 1,000 RPMs, 1,300. Now I want to see what my speed is. I can go like here and then I can go into data, 4.8. So now I want to slow that down. I'll bring it down to about 800 800. See what happens. On that, that brought us down to 3.1. Now this is like on the RPM end of it. Okay. So we're at 2.5. Yeah, that could be okay for tuna. Right there, 2.5. I'll go down another little bit to about 700. 2.5, 2.4. Okay, say, hey, I want to go slower. 750, let's go down to 700 RPMs. It says it right there. 2.4, 2.3, 2.2. That'd be perfect for salmon. But you say, hey, you want to go lower than that, kick it down to 650 RPMs. Is right there. 1.9, 2. See, you don't want to get much lower than that. But if you did, just keep pushing. Now, once I'm into here, see this 90%? I'm going to turn the volume down. Right there. Now, listen, see how you'll see forward, I'm going to go down to about 70%. See how that went into neutral? That's taking that gear case and shutting it down, and then it starts, now it's back up. Now I'm down to 1.5 miles an hour. So you control with those two motors back there. And then the more I go, the longer it's going to stay disengaged. 1.2, 1.1. With this aero design hole, this sucker, you can actually steer this even in a wind. Like right now, I'm not even touching it, it's keeping it straight, and that's because of that aero design front and rear. And I'll show you that when I'm out here. We're down to 0.3 just by using that. Now if you give it some gas, it says deactivated. So boom, we're not there, and it will show up here like a little speed icon right there. See that? And then if you give it a little gas, that's going to go away, so then you just take off. So that's showing you that. So then what I'm going to do, now this I got on, I'm going to trim this, right? Okay? So we're going to take off real quick. Not even 2 seconds to plane this boat with those inline 200s. So then if you go over here, you can watch your fuel flow at 7.8. These two are pretty close actually. Now I'm leaning just a little bit, but you know what? I would trim it up now a little bit before I use my trim tabs. I would live with this because I'm doing 11.4, I'm doing 28 miles an hour. 11.4 is awesome, that's really good. Now I'm going to trim this to where it's straight. Right here off the trim tab. It didn't really change my fuel flow that much, so you may be able to use that, you know, at this speed if you wanted. So now I'm going to go a little faster. So this would be a cruising speed, roughly. Right there, I'm 31 miles an hour. I'm only burning 14. Most boats would be in the 20s. So you're saving a lot of fuel. Now see how I'm losing the bottom right here? Now I'm going to run this trim tab up. Now see how the boat's leaning? See I'm starting to pick up the bottom again? See right there? That's because that trim tab. Now if I go like this again, trim it up, I'm going to start losing it a little bit. So in theory that transducer should be between the motors. So then I'm going to give it some gas. Then I'm going to start trimming it. Over here, there's my trim. I can take my hands off the wheel. Trim it down if it bounces a little bit, 44 miles an hour. Now I'm down to 40. So now you bring this back. Then you can trim it all the way down. Then you can go over here and go to trim assist, turn that on. Go back over here, single lever, auto trim, it shows it right up here. So now I'm going to take off. Now I'm not touching the trim. I'm going to trim the boat where it's level with the trim tab. There you go. See how those moved up by themselves? Now right about here they should move again. And I think the next one, yeah, see how they move? And at 55. Now you can adjust this. See how they raised all the way up? Now when I back off, you'll see them dropping. I think what I did is I messed, yeah, see how they're dropping now? Then I use these, bring these back up again. So that's auto trim. A lot of times I don't use that, but a rookie, I guess you can use that. Okay, so now, if you take this one off, when you're docking, you want to do that. You bring this one back, say you want to turn to the right, you can actually turn that wheel a little bit to the right, bring that one port ahead, this one back. Now this is your throttle to keep it still or to make the turn. See how we're turning? Now if it's going too fast on the turn, bring it back. You want to go faster, bring the reverse back right here. Then we use this one for forward. And you can keep this thing in one spot. So then if you want to go like to the left, bring this one back. So the current's going out, so I'm going to give it a little gas in front. Right there. Then I'm going to bring it in reverse, but I want to turn that wheel a little to the left. And there we go to the left. There you go. And then you can actually drive with the boat as well. So say if I get here, I get going. Okay, so now I can drive and keep the wheel semi-straight. Now I'm going to the right. Bring that back. Give that back. Give it a little gas. Bring that back. See, now I'm going to the left. Then I'm going to the right. So I can steer this with this or the trim tab. So I can leave this like this. Make sure this tacks are even. I can go here. I can go to the left. If I'm going to go to the right. And there ain't too many boats you can do this with. The Edge you can, and this one because of that arrow design. And then when I get past this boat, I'm going to show you something too. And then I'm going to stop and go to video 3.